Hello, hello. Welcome to another reading vlog. I don't know why I just said that so weird. Anyway, I didn't plan on recording the intro for this today, but you know what, we're gonna do it because I feel kind of cute today and the weather is great and I'm in a good mood. It's Mother's Day. Anyway, this reading vlog is going to be replacing my screen time with reading. So, let's take a look first at my reading times for last week. Go to settings, digital well-being. Okay, so last Sunday, my screen time was 2 hours and 2 minutes. Can you see that? And I would say I read this morning. I did not record it, but I read this morning for like at least an hour. So I would say I need to read at least another, well, to complete this, I need to read another hour today. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and then each day we'll look at our reading time and we'll do it. But yeah, I'm currently reading Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage, and I'm on page 208. So I'm a little bit over halfway through. Also, if you see this like lump, it's because these pages literally fell out. Book construction, it's very floppy, which I love, but like whoever constructed this, why? Why are the pages falling out? Anyway, Wild and Wrangled is following Cam and Dusty, and this is book 4 of the Rebel Blue Ranch series, which is kind of like a, not really like cowboy romance, but you know, country-esque type of romance. Think like Elsie Silver's Chestnut Spring series, which I love, by the way. And I'm loving this. I feel like I've kind of heard mixed things about this. Some people love it. Some people have kind of been left feeling a little disappointed. I'm not sure why though, but I'm loving this. I really enjoy second chance romance just due to like the tension that's there, and there's definitely a lot of tension between Cam and Dusty. They were like high school sweethearts, and then I'm not exactly sure what happened yet. Like we haven't gotten to that part because there's chapters in the past timeline and then current chapters, so we haven't really gotten to the chapters that talk about what happened and why they parted ways. But you can tell like Dusty is so down bad for her and would literally do anything for her, and Cam's the one that kind of keeps pushing him away. It literally says on the back that like she keeps him at arm's length, which she definitely does, and it makes my heart so sad for him because he is just so golden retriever and so like would literally do anything for her. I also love that he, as you can see on the cover, he has like tattoos, he has a nose ring. He's like the opposite of what her parents, the kind of person that her parents would want her to be with. Like her parents, they suck. They are rich and all they really care about is money and like holding things over her head. So there hasn't been a lot of like character growth yet, I would say, for her and getting out of that mindset of kind of living under her parents' thumb, but I'm hoping that we are getting there. I'm hoping we're getting to that character development. But as far as the romance goes, that's been a great slow burn. I'm really loving it so far. Like I said, there's lots of tension between the two, and that's like my favorite thing in the world. Slow burn plus tension. Yes, yes please. So yeah, that is pretty much the update. Like I said, I'm 208 pages in, and there are, oh, that's not even the same book, guys. 326 pages total, so what's that? 208, bad at math. Like 100, we'll just say it's like 120 pages. Today is Mother's Day and we do have plans at like 3, it's like noon right now, so I'm probably going to eat lunch. I'm doing laundry, doing a bit of like a, you know, weekly reset. If not this afternoon, I should have time tonight to read for another hour, but I will keep you guys updated. But yeah, I'm excited to do this challenge. I've seen other booktubers do this and I've wanted to because I feel like a lot of us want to bring our screen time down, and what better way to do that than to replace screen time with reading time. So that's the update, and I'm gonna go do some stuff. Good morning. I've made my coffee. We are back on an iced coffee kick, and I have a reading update because I did indeed finish Wild and Wrangled yesterday. My reading time for yesterday, based on my screen time from last week, was 2 hours and 2 minutes, and I definitely reached that and actually surpassed it. I think I read for probably about 3 hours yesterday. We completed Sunday's reading. Today, actually, I'll update you on what I need to read time-wise for today. I'll do that after I give you an update on Wild and Wrangled. Did finish this. I ended up landing on a 4.5 star rating. I think I mentioned this in the previous clip where I talked about this. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed Cam and Dusty's story, and I love that, you know, it's second chance, so there's so much tension and history between them. I am a big fan of second chance romance when it's done really well. The only thing that kept this from being a 5 stars was mostly Cam kind of annoying me sometimes, like the way that she was just like doubting herself and pushing Dusty away did start to kind of like annoy me, because he was all there for her and just so down bad for her, and I love that. I loved Dusty so much. But Cam a couple times did annoy me. Also, her like relationship with her parents was like really weird, how they just really sucked, and she still though kept like doing what they wanted her to do, and I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, stick up for yourself, you know? So anyway, I think that was supposed to be frustrating. I think that was the point. For me, it took just a little bit of the enjoyment out of it. Not enough for me to not overall enjoy this book though, but that's why it's not a 5 stars. So 4.5 stars because I flew through this. I really did have a great time. I loved the relationship, the slow burn tension between Cam and Dusty, and I really enjoyed the story overall. It was really fun. So yeah, 4.5 stars. First book of the video is already done. And this morning, I, for some reason in the back of my mind, was like, you know what, I think I want to pick up Water Moon. But then I read like the first page or whatever, and I didn't realize that this book is set in fall, like the beginning of fall. And I don't know about you, but I am very much a seasonal kind of reader. When it's sunny and the beginning of spring, I don't really want to be reading a book set in fall necessarily. So that's unfortunate, because I did put this on my May TBR, so we'll see if I do end up getting to this one this month. But instead of reading this one right now, I kind of think I want to read Enchantra, because I also read the first page of this one, and this one's giving more of like a springy vibe, even though these books are kind of like gothic. Well, like Phantasma definitely was, and I've heard this one is too. But yeah, this one follows Genevieve, which is the sister of the girl from Phantasma. I don't remember. One thing about me, I don't remember. This one follows the sister, Genevieve, and receives an invitation to Enchantra, a cursed palace in Italy frozen in time. Hello, that sounds amazing. She's denied entrance by the sinfully handsome yet hostile Rowan Silver. She finds her own way in, soon realizes her mistake. Ooh, Rowan and his 6 siblings are trapped in a deadly game at the mercy of a twisted devil and his ghastly spectators. Only one occupant of the house can survive. Genevieve now must win or die. Yeah, this sounds really good, really fun. I love, the sun's gonna wash it out, but I love this cover. And yeah, it is kind of giving spring, which I, for some reason, just assumed that this was gonna be another fall-esque book, being that Phantasma was kind of a fall-esque book, but maybe I'm wrong. This one's giving more spring than the other one. So anyways, I do think I'm gonna start this one at some point today and do my reading time with this book. That's the reading update. Let's look at my screen time and how long I need to read today. I think I wrote it down somewhere, but you know, I'm forgetful. We're just gonna look again. Okay, today is Monday. 2 hours and 30 minutes. Can you see that? 2 hours and 30 minutes is what we need to read today. That's definitely doable. I think what I'm gonna do, because it's still pretty early in the morning, I'm gonna go start some laundry and get a few things done. And today's supposed to be beautiful, like 80 degrees and sunny. So I definitely want to do some reading outside and just get as much outdoor time as possible. So yeah, I will probably see you when I'm doing some reading, but that's it for now. I'm back with a couple updates. I did not last very long outside because, one, it's hot and I can't lay in the sun very long without getting like lightheaded, and yeah, so I came back in. Also, the bees on my porch, I think they're mostly carpenter bees, but they will not leave me alone, and so I came back in. Anyway, I have like a mini, kind of like a haul for you guys, and then I'm gonna get into the update. As for the haul, I got a new Kindle case and some Kindle stickers that came in the mail today. This is so cute! This is from Forever Booked, and it says Silly Goose on the loose with a book. And then I also refreshed all the stickers because it's got a clear back. I love this. I love that it covers the front and also still allows you to showcase some bookish stickers. So we have, most of these stickers, by the way, are from Forever Booked as well. But we have Hello, I'm mentally at the bookstore. This is the Kindle of a Reader, Bella. One more chapter. Fantasy Girly. TBR reads. And then this little guy here, he's a Labubu, which segues me into the other part of my haul, which is that I got a Labubu. I've been wanting one of these for so freaking long, guys. They're really hard to get off the actual Pop Mart website, so I ended up going and getting one that was new, still sealed in the box from Mercari. I posted like an unboxing on here, like a short, last week. Come on. This guy, are you kidding? He's the cutest thing ever. And he is also a keychain. So this is my new little reading buddy. I just kind of wanted to throw him in this haul with you, or throw him in this haul and show you, because I'm really excited about this, and also my new Kindle that's, you know, refreshed for spring. Not new Kindle, but new Kindle makeover. I cannot talk. Anyway, update on the book Enchantra. I am only about 30 pages in, which is chapter 4, so we're right at the very beginning, but already I can tell you that I'm loving the gothic Italian vibes of this. I'm loving that it's set in spring. I didn't realize at first that this was set in spring, like I said, but there's already been a lot of references to like budding trees and spring breezes. As it's spring and I'm a seasonal reader, I kind of want to read something set in spring, and this is perfect. Like I said, this does follow Genevieve. So far, we've only seen her. She opens a letter that is from Enchantra. I'm still not really sure about who this guy is that sent her this letter, but I guess they've been sending letters back and forth, and there's these crows that are kind of leading her to make this decision to go to Italy, to the Enchantra Manor. And yeah, she basically just got there, and then she woke up. Some weird things happened. She woke up and now she's like back on the outside of the gates again. So I'm curious to see how she's going to get in. But yeah, so far I'm here for the vibes. I just love that it's set in Italy and that it's, you know, like an old manor, and there's, knowing Phantasma, we know that there's going to be demons and all sorts of fun paranormal creatures. So that's the reading update. I don't have much to tell you guys yet because I literally just started it. Like I said, I didn't get very far because I could not focus. The bees were just all over me. Happens every time I'm outside, so that's awesome. It's now 2:40. I really need to buckle down. I still have 2 hours left on the clock for my daily screen time reading thing. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go get settled. I might change because I'm all sweaty and stuff. And yeah, I just really wanted to update you guys and show you my cutie new Kindle case. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. So you bet your bottom dollar I'm probably gonna be reading Enchantra on my Kindle. As you can see, I've now showered. I have to get on here real quick and read something. I still have an hour and like 20 minutes on the clock, but on page 50, so they're in the manor and she's met Barrington and some of his kids, and he's kind of like telling her his story. This is who she came to visit and ask questions of. He goes, "We were married with Knox's permission, eventually went on to have our 7 children. Gravington, Covington, Rowington, Remington, Sevington, Wellington, and Ellington." He waved his hands at the other portraits. Despite his solemn tone, Genevieve had to stop herself from giggling. All their names were utterly tragic. I just giggled at that and had to read that out loud. I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Good morning. So I did indeed finish my, almost a pages, finish my reading time of 2.5 hours yesterday, and we got to page, doing this one-handed, so bear with me. What page did we get to? 173 of Enchantra. Sorry, the lighting's, I'm sitting horribly. I got to page 173 of Enchantra, and I am loving this. I'm absolutely devouring it. I think that the author has come even further since the first book. Like, I thought the first book was good, but I feel like her writing is even more like rich this time around and descriptive, and I'm loving it. I'm here for the vibes. I love the Halian like manor setting and all of the characters. I'm really loving the tension between Rowan and Genevieve, and I love how he is presented to us. They're all presented as very attractive, but he has like a lip ring and like dark longish hair curling at the ends, and I love that. And yeah, no, this book is so fun. I'm at the part right now where they're about to be starting round 1 of the hunt, which is like the whole games aspect of this one, so I'm excited. I think today is Tuesday. I don't have a lot of plans. I was going to get up and work out this morning, and then I slept like absolute crap, and I'm very tired, so I am over here chugging coffee, and I'm probably going to sit here and read for a bit, eat breakfast, read some more, go for a walk eventually. And yeah, today's screen time is, I believe, 2 hours and 55 minutes. Let me double check. It's Tuesday. Okay, yeah. 2 hours, and can you see that? 2 hours and 55 minutes. That's what we've got on the clock for reading today. And yeah, I'm just excited to really hopefully binge and devour this book today. Again, like I said, I don't really have any other plans today, except for that, especially because I'm just so tired. I don't think I'm really gonna force myself to do much. I'll probably get some laundry done, maybe clean a little bit, but other than that, we're chilling because I'm exhausted. But anyway, that's the update. Let's get to reading. Okay, I'm like halfway through this book now, and can I just say, I'm kind of obsessed. I don't know why I'm surprised by that. I think it's just because, again, I liked Phantasma, but I wasn't like obsessed with it like other people. But then again, I could have read it at the wrong time. I read it while we were in the middle of moving, and I was like the most stressed ever. Like anytime we're moving, I'm super stressed. So anyway, it could have been right book, wrong time. All I know is that I am obsessed with this book and the writing and the descriptiveness and the characters and the whole idea behind it of these games. It's kind of giving Hunger Games with like the mirrors, and that everybody, all the spectators, can literally watch them through the mirrors as they like fight to the death. And then also, obviously, like the snark between Rowan and Genevieve is really giving not quite enemies to lovers, but definite like dislike at first with sexual tension. And I know it's going to be spicy, and I am really loving this. Like, it's already giving me, knock on wood, I hope this stays the same, it's already giving me 5-star feelings, and I'm on page 214, so I'm like, yeah, I'm about halfway through. Anyway, just wanted to give that little update that I'm kind of obsessed with this right now. So very happy I picked this up. Very grateful to everyone who kind of urged me to read this sooner than I anticipated. But yeah. Good morning. It is now the next day, and we did finish our reading time yesterday of 2 hours and 55 minutes. I actually went over it again because I was so close to finishing Enchantra, and we did finish it. And guess what? This is a 5 freaking stars. Yes, this, I started to get the 5-star feeling probably like halfway through this book, and then I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. I was like, I hope this stays at 5 stars. And then by the end, I was like, yeah, this is definitely 5-star material. Let's get into it. I really loved the pacing of this. This was very fast-paced. This was very fast-paced and bingeable, and it just felt like the plot was bopping right along and taking me through the story. There was never any point where I was like distracted while reading this or like wanting to put it down. Like I was in it the entire time I was reading it, which was really great. I also thought that the writing was great. I liked the writing in Phantasma as well, and I think Hayley Smith's writing is simple while also being descriptive enough to be immersive. And I also felt like there was a lot of growth from the first book. Like this book felt even better. So Miss Kaylee, you did a great job with this. I loved this. Also, female main character Genevieve. I really enjoyed her wit and her humor, her personality in general. She was like very funny and also confident, but at the same time obviously had her own things that she was kind of working throughout this book. So I did think that the character development was good, but I just really liked her as a female main character. And then the romance that develops between our two main characters was so good. If you like shadow daddies, if you like tension and spice and dislike to lovers, this is for you. Also, I did want to say, this entire time I was kind of picturing, like, picture Hunger Games, right? Like the killing to the death and spectators watching, mixed with The Haunted Mansion, the Eddie Murphy movie, if you know what I'm talking about. The Haunted Mansion, like, gothic vibes and humor. If you mix that with the spectator and killing part of Hunger Games, I feel like this is what you get. You get this book. And I thought it was brilliant. I loved every second of it. The setting, the characters, the pace, the plot was just so freaking fun. The side characters, all the players in this game, the way that the book is literally structured, where in between different parts you get, you know, round 1 of the hunt. Everything about this book I loved, and so it is a 5 stars. I feel like this vlog is already going great. So now we need to pick our next book, because the time that we have on the clock for today, it is Wednesday by the way, the time we have on the clock for today is 2 hours and 46 minutes. So let's get the timer set up. We're gonna pick our next book. I think what I'm gonna do is I grabbed 3 off of my May TBR, and I'm just gonna read the first line of all of these. So we have Savor It by Tara DeWitt, or like first paragraph. Well, it's certainly unexpected. It is also decidedly phallic, and it's at least 50 feet tall. Dome-shaped tip juts up above the roofline at its back, proudly silhouetted against the early summer sky. Funny, that one has a funny start. Natural History of Dragons. I don't know if I'm actually in the mood for this right now, but when I was 7, I found a sparkling lying dead on a beach at the edge of the woods, which formed the back boundary of our garden that the groundskeeper had not yet cleared away. With much excitement, I brought it for my mother to see, but by the time I reached her, it had mostly collapsed into ash in my hands. Mama exclaimed in distaste and sent me out to wash. I think this one's going to have a much drier tone. And then The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. I glanced down at the text while the light was red. Celeste, I'm not giving you a dime, Josh. Go screw yourself. Go screw yourself. God damn it, I muttered, tossing the phone on the passenger seat. I knew she was going to do this. Leave me with my finger in the damn shit. Okay, so this one starts out with drama. I think it's between these two. I'm going to decide, and then I'll give you guys updates once I'm a little bit the way through the book. I've got some reading time under my belt, and then I'll come back, because I clearly am not awake yet. I have not had my coffee. I have been, in the mornings, I have been brewing my coffee, sticking it in the freezer for a few minutes to let it cool down, and then pouring it over ice, because if I just pour it over ice while it's hot, the ice melts. But anyway, that's the plan. I need coffee because I am exhausted once again. I'm back and I'm a little bit more put together. I've also made myself a second coffee because, oh my god, are you kidding me? I ordered this cup on a whim. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen my stories. I ordered this cup on a whim from an Instagram ad from the company Good Cuppa. I think it's Australian based, but I was just enamored by like the shape of this. It's so simple, yet it really reminds me of like when you go out for coffee, how, I don't know how to explain it, like the top with like the little hole, there's an aeration hole, this is double walled glass. I don't know. The packaging it came in was great. It came really like securely well packaged, and I love the size. And I don't know if this is just coincidence or not. I don't usually make lattes, but I made a latte and it actually tastes like really good. I don't know. I think I'm obsessed with this little cup. This is gonna be like my everyday coffee cup now, especially for traveling, because this is meant to be like a to-go cup, but I'm obsessed. Anyway, I had to show you that real quick. And then I do have updates on the book and the reading challenge. I have an hour 45 minutes left on the clock, which means I read for like an hour this morning, and I'm already 62 pages in. And I'm really enjoying this. It's a little bit, I would say, campy with like the humor. It's very over the top humor, very like silly, goofy time. It's very much typical small town, stereotypical characters. Like they're all showing up. So let me back up. The main male character in this book travels to the town of Spoons, Oregon, and he's staying in this house for the summer that happens to be a house that the main female character is taking care of here and there as well in the summer. Shows up, and his first night there is just wild and silly, and I'm not going to give it away because it's fun, but it's just a silly, goofy time. And then the next day, like every single townsperson in this small town just like shows up at his door and is like knocking on his door, and it's just very much campy. So I don't usually love that, but it's kind of working for me in this. I don't know, I'm enjoying it, I'm having a good time. It's just fun, you know? And I love a romance that's fun. You can tell there's gonna be some deeper undertones as well, because there's some loss that's already been kind of mentioned on both sides for both characters, but I'm really loving the vibes. I love that this is set in summer and that she has like a hobby farm and loves gardening and is very much all about living in the present moment. I love the free-spiritedness of our main female character, Sagebird. I'm really enjoying her. And yeah, I can't wait to see where this goes. We're only 62 pages in, so not much has happened. We're just getting introduced to the town and the people and the best friends and all of that. But yeah, actually it's so funny, like the very first page, I knew this was gonna be silly goofy because it opens up with like Sage and her like best friend looking up at this new building, and it's very like phallic, and they're both making like puns back and forth about the shape of the building. So anyway, that's a little bit, that's what I've gathered so far about this. Really enjoying it. Like I said, hour and 45 minutes left on the clock. I'm gonna go, well, actually I'll probably sit right here, drink my coffee, read a little bit more. I also need to charge my camera because it's about to die. That's very good. There's just been a Twilight reference. So I think this is a goose, and his name is Gary, and the female main character and the niece of our main male character are outside, and I don't know, I think Indy's like helping her in the garden or whatever, and she goes, go lay down over there in the grass, I want to see something. And then Gary starts grabbing twigs and stuff and like putting them around her, And Indy goes, "What's he doing?" A snort tears out of me helplessly. "He's building you a nest. And God, I wish he'd appreciate a melodramatic rendition of 'You imprinted on my son.'" And get the reference. But also I think the nuance would be lost on her. Anyway, it's going well. I have finished the reading time for today, which was 2 hours and 46 minutes, and I'm now up to chapter 16, which is page 160. So yeah, about halfway through the book, and I did not plan on like annotating or anything, but I ended up pulling out some tabs and stuff and doing a little bit of annotating because there's been some like really good scenes and quotes in here. One of them I wanted to read to you is her and the MMC are like shopping around a little bit together because she asks for his help, and he says something that kind of makes her, it triggers her, something about her being too nice or whatever. And she goes, "Patty and Eddie Munty would let my brothers and me walk to their house after school when Alice was busy with a job in paramedic training. They'd feed us buttered toast and taught us dominoes. And I don't give a shit if someone passing through this place thinks my quail kimono is the weirdest thing they've ever seen, because it makes me smile. And I love that it was made by someone who cares for me. Novelty or not, the happiness I feel is real enough. I'm not too nice," I say firmly. "I'm most definitely not anyone's golden girl. And I like the stuff she makes because..." I look around in frustration. "Because life's too fucking short, that's why." Love that. Love her sticking up for herself, and I just love that line about something having value because it makes you smile and it just makes her happy whether somebody else can see the value in that or not. And then on the next page, again, she's like still kind of sticking up for herself and explaining herself, and she said, "He looks mollified and even sheepish at that, and I have to bite back the urge to say something self-deprecating in a more lighthearted way, something that'd make my candor seem glib and less true. But it feels good to speak plainly for once, to worry a little less about making my feelings smaller, to spare someone else the discomfort." And wow, that right there is so relatable and something that I myself need to work on. So highlighted that. What else? There's just been some like really good quotes, and then there was a library scene. If you know, you know. Anyway, I'm eating this up. That's the update. The update is that this is going really well. I'm still binging it, and I finished my time for the day, but I will definitely be going over my time once again. I think throughout this entire challenge, except for maybe Monday, I've gone over my appointed reading time for the day, and yeah, so we'll see how many books we end up getting through for this vlog. Tomorrow's reading time is much longer. I think it's like 3 hours and something. Obviously tomorrow I will update you on that and on how the reading's going. But yeah, third book already of this vlog, and it's flying by and going really well. So got some things to do, and then we're gonna be sitting back down and probably reading some more. And it's also like the perfect gloomy day for reading. I've been really just locked in, so. Good morning. I had no intentions to like actually get ready today, but here we are. I've decided I'm going to, well, I kind of already planned to go into town because I gotta get my husband a birthday cake. His birthday is tomorrow. So I'm gonna do that and get some groceries while I'm out using my coffee cup. Again, by the way, obsessed. But anyway, before I head out, I wanted to do a reading update. I did start my time already today. I think I kind of mentioned it, but today, Thursday, is a much longer time that I need to read. 3 hours and 55 minutes total. And I already started this morning and read for an hour and a half, so I have 2 hours, 11 minutes left on the clock. But like I said, we've got to go do some stuff. So hopefully I can get that in. I don't see why it should be an issue. I should be able to get in one of those hours, hopefully this afternoon after I go get some things done. And then if need be, I can get that final hour in tonight when hubby and I are relaxing on the couch. So I think I can still make it happen, but we'll see. I'll have to update you guys. But I did finish Savor It this morning. So yeah, I finished all, I think it was like 320 pages of this. This was wonderful. This was so much more than I anticipated. And I think I mentioned that at the beginning, it has like this silly kind of tone, very like campy, but it really worked for me. And I do think that the tone of things obviously got seriouser. Is that a word? No. Things got more serious as they went on, and especially towards the end, but yet this author is really good at throwing in those bits of like silly humor that bring some levity to the situations that the characters are dealing with. A lot of the characters in here are dealing with grief of different sorts, you know, whether it's loss of a relationship or loss of a loved one, that kind of a thing. So there are heavier topics. This isn't just like purely a rom-com, but it really also gives strong rom-com vibes, especially with like one of my favorite parts of this book was, so Sage has like a hobby farm. So she has a couple geese and she has a dog and a three-legged cat and she has an old horse and chickens and all of these different things. And the animals were one of my favorite parts ever because they're just so silly. They're also unique, and she just has such a big heart, and I loved that about her. I really saw a lot of myself in her. I think I mentioned the quotes about, you know, her sticking up for herself when she said people, like the first thing they think about her is that she's too nice, right? And that kind of set her off. And honestly, I really saw myself in that because sometimes I do think I'm too nice, and that can be perceived as a weakness, but I love that this book really shows that it's not. It's more of a strength. And I don't know, I loved Sage. I loved their relationship. It was deeply romantic. There was some spice in this, like a few scenes, but it was really tastefully done. I felt like they had a deep connection, like a friendship kind of connection first. I loved the relationship development between him and his niece. That was great to see as well. Like I said, the animals, the town, just like the small town typical stereotypes, but like make them so ridiculous that it was good. I don't know. I love this. I didn't get my reaction, of course, on screen because today was hair washing day and this morning I was looking rough. But anyway, as I was finishing this morning, like the last 100 pages, I was crying my eyes out a couple times. It just really, this book really just hit me harder than I expected it to. Like there was this one scene with Indy, the niece, and she's dealing with grief. And she's really connected to Sage's goose, for one. That was really cute and sweet and funny. But then also there's a scene with like a donkey where they just like put their heads together in quiet for a moment, and then she gets all choked up and has to, like, typical teenager, literally run away from those emotions. And it just really, I don't know, that scene really touched me, made me tear up a bit, and this book, like I said, took me by surprise. I am going to land on a 5 stars for this because any book that I am devouring and looking forward to reading when I put it down, and this hooked me from page 1. Any book that can bring all these different emotions, make me laugh, make me cry, make my heart hurt, has me like annotating, that's gonna be a 5 stars for me. So highly recommend, and that actually makes me so much more excited for her next book coming out, which is called Left of Forever, because now I feel really connected to this town, and I just loved it. I just felt like this whole book was kind of unique. I don't know. It was just so much fun, and there was also a lot of emphasis on like living in the now and being present, and that's something that I'm always working on and something that I also struggle with. And I think anybody who's on the internet in any capacity, or even just living in today's day and age with like phones and stuff, I think that's quite relatable. So anyway, apparently I have a lot to say about this for good reason. This was amazing. 5 stars, highly recommend. And then of course I left out in the living room, but I also did start last night. I needed a Kindle book as I was going to bed because it's hard for me to read a physical book with the light on and have my husband also trying to, you know, fall asleep. So I did start A Natural History of Dragons on my Kindle. I'm only like 2 chapters in, so really nothing to report yet. Other than I do think the tone of it is it's like witty and dry, and it does remind me a lot of like Emily Wilde and her personality. And yeah, I'm excited. That's all I've got for you so far. We finished Savor It. We still have 2 hours on the clock. I will most likely be picking up A Natural History of Dragons later, and maybe something else. I don't know yet. Only time will tell. But yeah, I'm going to probably make another coffee, even though I really don't need it, because I'm just obsessed with this cup. And then I'm gonna head out and go to town. And I might also go to Ulta. I really shouldn't, but there are a couple things that I kind of need. So anyway, that's a tangent, but I'm gonna go and I'll keep you guys updated. Okay, this is already kind of funny. I've only read like 2 more pages since I last talked to you. I like just sat down to read again, but anyway, the main female character in this gets in trouble in the beginning of this book when she's a kid for being too curious and getting herself into trouble and not being ladylike and all of that. As she's like coming of age and coming into like her season, because it's back in those times where once you turn like 16, you're in the season, you know what I mean, like Bridgerton vibes. And her father calls her into his study and gives her a paper and says, "A husband willing to fund a library for his bookish wife is not so easy to obtain. Most would see it as a pointless expense. You might, however, find one willing to share his library. The gentlemen on that list are all amateur scholars with well-stocked studies." Papa's eyes gleamed at me from beneath his brows, and the lines around them threatened to crinkle up. "I have it on good authority that the ones I have underlined possess copies of A Natural History of Dragons." And then there's a couple more sentences, but basically she like flies around the desk and hugs him, and she's like laughing and she's happy, and I don't know, I just thought that was so cute and also funny and really sweet that the dad, because he knows how, you know, much she likes reading and studying and her fascination with dragons, so the fact that he went out of his way to find a list of men that he knows has like good libraries, that was so cute. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go back to reading now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Another really funny thing that you have to hear. Basically, again, she's talking about society and being in season. So she said, "So did society descend upon Felchester, and the horns sounded the beginning of the hunt. Gossip about such matters ages badly. Who said what to whom and where is swiftly forgotten, replaced by fresher meat. At my advanced years, such minutiae of my youth rank somewhere between the Gloucestershire tax rolls and the complaints of one's hypochondriac great-aunt for their interest to the modern audience." Hello. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm done. Hi, it's me. I'm back again, obviously. Before I get into the reading updates, it's Friday. I've done barely any reading. I think we started the day off, because today's Friday, like I said. Based on the weekly report, we need to read 3 hours and 46 minutes. Can you see that? Hello, focus. 3 hours, 46 minutes, okay? And we did a little bit of reading this morning in the car and while we were bopping around. So I have about 3 hours left on the clock. But it's my husband's birthday, like I said, so we kind of, I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done because we're kind of just doing stuff. And it's beautiful out. It's like 81 degrees. I'm sweating. I want to go for a walk at some point. But before I get into the actual reading updates, I did go to Barnes today, and I said I wasn't gonna buy books till like June, but I did go and buy this one because it's so beautiful, and it was on my list to eventually buy anyway. But the end paper artwork. Hello, I did not expect this. So anyway, I had to buy it, and I had like $15 in rewards. Treat yourself. Anyway, I got that. That's besides the point. But while I was waiting in the car, I did read a little bit of A Natural History of Dragons. And I don't know what percentage. I think I'm like 64%, 65% through. No idea what chapter. And everything that I said before still stands. It's fun. It reminds me of like Emily Wilde, very, not no stakes, but you know, just that cozy academia vibe to it. There has been a couple times where I'm like, not bored, but like kind of. So I would say I probably prefer the Emily Wilde series, although they are kind of similar tone to them, similar feelings. But Emily Wilde is just gonna be top tier for me. But this is fun, and we'll see where it goes, because like I said, I'm only a little bit over halfway, so I do have some more to read, and that's the plan. I'm gonna get a little bit of reading in, go for a walk. Good morning. It's now Saturday, and I'm gonna give you the reading updates. Don't worry, the updates on this challenge, but first, coffee. I am on my second latte already today. I've been obsessed with making lattes, which obviously are made with like an espresso shot, but me having 2 of those every day is probably not great for me. Whatever, it just tastes so good I can't stop. And I swear that this cup makes it taste better. But yeah, that's besides the point. So yesterday, the time that we had to read for was 3 hours and 46 minutes. I ended up being so busy all day that I didn't even start reading till, well, I got a little bit of reading throughout the day, like on and off. I got like an hour, I would say, or so on and off throughout the day. But then I did the majority of my time at night. Like I didn't stop reading till like 11 p.m., which was when I finished A Natural History of Dragons. When I stopped the clock last night, I only had 30 minutes or like a little bit under 30 minutes left. So obviously I didn't feel like starting a new book at that point. It was 11 p.m. I was tired. So technically we did fail yesterday, but I'm just gonna add that half an hour onto today. Like I read for like half an hour this morning. So I don't know if that counts or not. We're just gonna say that yesterday was the first fail of the challenge, but I still read for like 3 hours. And then today, before I update you on this, what's my time? My reading time for today? I think my total time for today was like an hour and 20 minutes. And then I added half an hour. Let me just double check. Yeah, 1 hour and 26 minutes was what we had for today. I did finish A Natural History of Dragons. I landed on a rating of 3.75 stars. It was originally gonna be a 4 stars, but then I would say like from the middle point to the end, I was kind of a little bit bored here and there. I just didn't really find myself caring about the plot of them trying to figure out what was happening with like the townspeople, and they go to the Boyar's hunting lodge and there's something off and there's something weird, and I feel like usually I would like that, but I don't know. I started kind of like falling off towards the end of this where I just like didn't care anymore. And that does sometimes happen with me with like cozy, I don't even know if you'd call this cozy. I would say it's like cozy academia based fantasy. So there's like, it's not that there's no stakes, there definitely are some stakes and something does happen that surprised me, but for the most part it's like that academic tone. It's just like basically her writing in her journal and telling us of her first years into studying dragons, right? And I did enjoy that. I enjoyed the dragons. I really enjoyed our female main character, Isabella. Like I said, she reminds me a lot of Emily Wilde in her kind of like flat affect. Like she just like says things as they are. She's very blunt. She has a one-track mind that's always kind of churning in the academia realm. Like she doesn't really care for the things that normal ladies of this time would care for. And I really liked that. I found the actual writing style to be really good and really fun. A lot of big words used, a lot of words I've never heard of that kind of were tripping me up here and there. But yeah, enjoyable. I did knock it down from 4 stars to 3.75 just because, like I said, the second half kind of bored me a little bit, but I did finish it with my reading time yesterday, which is the goal. That's what I wanted to do. So we're actually really doing well on my May TBR so far. We've read all of them except for 2. And so this morning I decided to pick up another book that was on my May TBR, and that is The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. Like I said, I read like, oh, hello. I read like 30 minutes this morning, and I was distracted, okay guys? I don't know what's been going on with me today and yesterday. I've just been not absorbed, and so I'm not like flying through. But in the almost 30 minutes that I read this morning, I only got to page like 19, and you guys, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can read this because it's already annoying me. Like the very first scene of the 2 main characters literally running into each other, like they have like a called when you hit someone's like bumper. He like rear-ended her because she like spills coffee or whatever, and very first scene she's like diving into her truck to get like a towel, and he's staring at her ass and like mentally like thinking about how good her ass looks, and then that in the next couple chapters gets brought up like a million times, like how nice her ass is. And also the other main thing that's really annoying me is that at the start of this book, the main female character, Kristen, has a boyfriend and he's like deployed, he's in the military, and it really hasn't given us much about him yet. But the best friend, all it's told us is that the best friend doesn't like him. But regardless, she has a boyfriend, and the whole entire time so far, she's just like talking like in her head about how attractive Josh is and like how she hasn't gotten laid in forever because her boyfriend's been deployed. And I'm like, this is really rubbing me the wrong way. I don't really like when books start off like that. And then chapter 4, that's where I'm at. I kind of got ahead of myself and I kind of looked, and it says, the best friend goes, I like my car, and then goes, Josh is cute, huh? And she goes, if I didn't have a boyfriend, I'd get under him. And then she's like talking about how she hasn't gotten laid in a year and his shirt smells good and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is really bumming me out. Like, I just don't know about this. I don't know if this is just because it's one of her earlier books, but I think I might just not finish this. I think I might DNF this. I think I might be unhauling this, because if already within the first 20 pages, this much is annoying me. And also some of the dialogue has already been annoying me. It's like, almost seems like too good to be true, it's like overwrought, if that makes sense. And then also one of Josh's coworkers is talking, one of their coworkers is talking to Kristen and addresses her as like girl, like, hey girl. And I'm like, ew. So I think I'm gonna DNF this one. This has already been like I said, a very successful reading vlog where I have I given 2 5-stars? Yeah, I've had 2 5-star books, Savor It and Enchantra, sorry. And then Wild and Mangled was like high 4 stars. So this has already been a very good reading vlog. That streak had to end somewhere, and it's gonna end here, guys. If anyone's read this and liked it, or like knows that it gets better, feel free to let me know. Although I stand by the fact that I'm going to DNF this because it's annoying me. So yeah, those are the updates. I don't know exactly what I want to pick up yet next. Ooh, maybe we should pick from the Read It or Unhaul It jar. Yeah, I've been wanting to do that. Let's do that right now, actually, and we're just gonna see what happens. The problem though with the Read It or Unhaul It jar is I haven't added any of my newer books, but that's kind of the point of the Read It or Unhaul It jar, is to read the ones that have been on my TBR for forever. Okay, come on, give me, ooh, one fell out, guys. Oh no, oh no, what is it? I'm so scared. I don't know if that's upside down. Masters of Death. Remember how I keep saying that I'm saving this for spooky season? I'm gonna pull it down and just look at it. Do I want to read this right now? Real estate agent and a vampire. I'm gonna read the first page of this, and then we'll see if we're gonna actually read this or not. Okay, you know what? I might actually try to read this. It's not really, I read the prelude. I think that's what they called it in this. Prelude? Yeah, the prelude, which is like 1 page, and then I read a little bit of the very first page of like the first chapter. And it's not really giving overtly spooky season, which is kind of that was my assumption for this book, is that this was going to be overtly spooky season coded, and it's not really seeming that way. It's also kind of a little bit like, the premise of it is a little bit reminding me of the vibes of Enchantra, which I just rated 5 stars. So I might actually be in the mood for this. The very first chapter starts in the point of view of death, like death is being personified, and I really like that. I really liked that in Belladonna as well. So you know what, I am going to give this a try, I think. And what did I say we have on the clock left for today? I don't know if I did say, actually. We have 1 hour and 14 minutes left on the clock. So I'm gonna read like maybe a couple chapters of this now, and then I really have a lot of chores and things to get started on because it's Saturday. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna go do. I'm going to give this one a shot, and I'll have to let you guys know. But this will be the last actual day of the challenge because we started last Sunday, and I'm sure by now that this vlog is going to be so long and take me so long to edit. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna go read. Actually, I need to pick my bookmark. The book is green. I don't know if any of these are really gonna, ooh, we're gonna use my spooky season bookmark, even though I just said that the book wasn't really super spooky season coded, just because I want to use it. Why is this not focusing? What's happening? Okay, my reading time for the day is officially over. I did it. It was, what did I say, an hour and 26 minutes, and then I added half an hour to that. So it was about 2 hours that I have read today, and I ended up, like I said, DNFing the Friend Zone, and then I started Masters of Death. I'm like 70 pages in, and it's going well so far. I'm really liking it. Also, I just wanted to say that this vlog in general of like replacing my screen time with reading time has been super successful, because if you remember, first of all, this is the pile. Yes, one was a DNF. Technically one of them I was almost done with, and the last one here I'm not finished with. So, but still, very successful. We started off this vlog last Sunday. I think I had like 2 hours and something on the clock that day, and we finished up Wild and Wrangled, which I still read a decent amount of that in this vlog, like 176 pages or something. Loved it. Can't exactly remember what I gave it. I'll have to put it on the screen, but I think I gave it like 4.5-ish. Really enjoyed that. And then we read Enchantra, and this was a 5-star. I devoured this. I loved every second of this. It was just perfect. This is just very brief recap, because this is already, like I said, a very long vlog. And we read Savor It by Tara DeWitt, and I also gave this a 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. Annotated it a little bit. Ended up being far better and far more beautiful than I thought it would be. So happily surprised by this one. Loved it. And then we read A Natural History of Dragons, which I gave 3.75 stars. Liked it. Started to get a little bit bored towards the end, but still recommend. And then I tried, barely, to read The Friend Zone, and I got only 19 pages in, and it was annoying me. And I just went over all the things that were annoying me, so this was a DNF. And then today we picked up Masters of Death, and I, like I said, got like 70 pages in, and I'm really enjoying this so far. It is a little bit confusing because there's so many characters, and like almost every chapter. How many different point of views are there? I think there's like been at least 3 so far. It's very much like there's all these eccentric characters. There is a medium who is the godson of death. There is Death himself. There is this Reaper guy, and then this angel woman. There's also Vi, or Viola, and she is a vampire, and she's trying to sell a house. She's a vampire real estate agent, and she's trying to sell a house that's haunted, and I think there's gonna be like a romance with that, like that ghost and the vampire. And there's also the friend of the vampire, who is a demon, and she's also a personal trainer. So as you can tell, very eccentric. Olivia Blake's writing is very much, it's beautiful writing for sure, but I have heard it described also as like a bit pretentious. I don't know if I want to like say that though, because it is beautiful. It's just sometimes it's almost too much, to the point where I have to like go and read a sentence like over and over and over to get what she's trying to get across. It just takes a little more brain power to read, I guess you could say. I really am enjoying it, and we're not going to finish that book in this vlog because we just finished our time for the last day. And like I said, this video has already been going on for a very long time, but this is the most books that I've read in a vlog thus far. I'm assuming this video is going to end up being well over an hour long, even once I edit it. We shall see. But yeah, very successful. 2 5 stars, a DNF. It was all over the place, but overall a great time, and I'm very happy to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then once I finish this one, 6 books off of my physical TBR, which means also I pretty much completed my May TBR except for 1 book. So amazing. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking around. I appreciate every single one of you. And yeah, don't forget, if you did like this, to like the video, comment, tell me what are some of your most recent 5-star reads. I would love to know. And subscribe, of course, if you want to see more videos from me in the future. But with that, I'm going to leave you, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye!